Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And I realized I've been introducing the channel, and I don't think I've been saying who I am. By the way, my name is Mika. Yes, Mika of Leap Taken. I am Leap Taken. So I am going to go over my cottage witchery Book of Shadows updates. But before I do, I made a cute little, this is a witchy craft that I did with some of the women within my coven. And we made, basically, the goal was to make some sort of representation, right, of your womb, however you see it, however you choose to show it. It could be a literal interpretation or not. So I really wanted to kind of think a little bit out of the box. And I just got some like wood. These is like pieces of wood I painted from the craft store. And I did the other side because I wanted to have some sort of expression of that as well. So it was like basically like there's the womb itself, or the uterus, I should say. And this is kind of my representation of that. And then just the womb, basically, I was going with that. So in this case, that's what I did. So I just wanted a different interpretation of each. So to me, the green meant like fertile, the grounding, fertile, richness of the green. And then I have the hot pink spots, which is kind of, pink, but blood as well. And then here I just have like the variation of growth of, I wanted some like, and it's stained with blood, but just giving life basically, and then just this dark abyss here. And then I did the same representation here, except it's like you're already within the abyss. And then it's kind of, and this is just like the blood mixed in with the darkness. And, sort of this flower, which is, again, just blooming, spreading out, delivering, basically, that sort of stuff, like the canal itself. This is what I was thinking of, representation of that. And again, just more of the fertility, the green, fertile richness, and then just the blood as well, the sacred blood. So yes, this is what I created. This is how my mind thinks. So I actually have this hanging because it's a way for me to remember my own creativity, my own ability to create from within. And I love the representation. I'll be using these most likely in ritual as well as just having it there, maybe in my ritual space at the time, as just, any kind of fertility work or anything like that. This thing. And this is just a craft that I made. I was going to say cheap craft, but I don't necessarily wouldn't call it cheap, but it's a homey thing. But if you are a little bit more talented, artistically inclined, think of the possibilities. So when we talk about witchcraft tools and things like that, think outside the box, whatever that is, try to get, crafty. So I painted just the plastic piece. This is where the price tag was, I think. And I had this string and I just used that to hang it up. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that and give you a little bit of an idea, but now let's get to what you came for, right? Let's get to that. So my big old fat cottage witchery Book of Shadows. So I love my front page, and she thick. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys my dedication and just, the blessings and things like that. And I just, I have this organized in a way that makes sense to me with certain things, sacred space, declaration. And I have all these, cool things. I like things like sacred space asperging. Asperging is the act of sprinkling something with blessed water to consecrate it. Asperging, I said asperging. Bless a cup or bowl of water, then dip your fingers in and sprinkle drops off the tips by flicking your hand, like that sort of thing. It's not that I don't know this, but I like using that terminology. So that's something that makes it in the book. You see what I mean? And then more about like sacred space, smoke cleansing, using other things and things I know in case I ever get turned around. Look, I'm a woman of a certain age. Sometimes you forget things. I like the idea of passing things down, but at the same time, you don't know if your offspring will even want to come into this. Maybe they're called on a completely different path. Who's to say? But this is honestly for me, if my daughter found this, I think she would treasure it. I don't know where, her path leads her, if this is it. But if so, maybe, maybe not her, maybe her kid, maybe my son's kid, right? Who's to say? But anyway, tidbits about my practice. So this is like, I wrote about the color purple. Because that stands out to me, by the way. Notice I printed something in purple. That should tell you something. I like those colors. And just a daily affirmation that I think is helpful. And just some general information about the days of the week, and then the ruling planet. I wrote that in green. I can see it here, but maybe you can't. Now, I've shown this before, but if you haven't seen that video of me kind of doing the beginning part, you're in for a treat. So I wrote the days of the week and the correspondences on the back of these little cutouts. And these are a thicker type of sheet of paper, if you notice, because you don't, see too much at first when you look at it, but these are just nice imagery. Mostly everything that I got for my Book of Shadows came from the Etsy store, like all the cutouts and printouts and things like that. I print them. I use my Cricut machine for a lot. But yeah. And then this is a quote by Starhawk. To work magic, I need a basic belief in my ability to do things and cause things to happen. That belief is generated and sustained by my daily actions. So I like that quote, so I added it. Okay, so this is just more, cuteness, the aesthetic, if you will. And then I, made these little pockets. So wherever you live is your temple. If you treat it like one, the Buddha. So there you go. I like that. Love the imagery. And I just have like little, nuggets of information. Goddess Oshun, Goddess Orisha of honey, sweet waters, love, sensuality, fertility, and beauty. But the Yoruba Lady of Gold's anger and jealousy can also flood and destroy. I give love, I receive love, I am love. And I believe I got that from the African Goddess Oracle deck, or from the actual book itself, I think, because it stood out to me. I am receiving and radiating love. And I just have these dried flowers here. Love that. So then, I like the idea of having like takeaways in cards. So I have Moon Magic Communication Oil, a recipe for that. And some chants. The goddess is alive, magic is afoot, that sort of thing. So I have that here. And just more cards. This is Spell Bundles, Burner Berry, and it's just a little instructions on how to do so. Okay, and then we have just the beautiful imagery, which I find inspiring. And I wanted texture, so like here, this is like a shiny print, and this is like a little pocket, by the way. I just haven't put anything in here yet. And this is more of a matte finish, but I love that. I made another pocket here, so affirmations for the Cottage Witch. My home is a sacred place. I have all that I need. I am protected. And, I just go on about abundance. And then I just have, more notes and things like that here. The difference between affirmations and incantations is that incantations are usually written as rhymes. And I go on difference between, that's what this is for. And then here I have more little treasures, if I can pull them out. Oh, I think there we go. So these are just calls to the directions and how to go about doing so. And I wrote that in different colors, as you can see. So this is really helpful if I need to. I have this. I don't have to go to another book or anything. I have my own book. And then just more cottage witchy things, kitchen and all that sort of stuff. I love it. Binding a spell or ritual. So I have those notes here, and I love everything in here, by the way. And this was a book that I'm just going to jump ahead. I end up cutting out a bunch of pages extra. So it's like, you see 266. I ended up cutting out a bunch of pages, and it's still this fat because I didn't need that many extra pages. But I just glued the other pages for scrapbooking and Magical Book of Shadows or whatever they called it on Etsy. And I paid for it. It was a couple dollars. I mean, it cost me money, and the printouts, and I had craft paper and my Cricut machine made like these stamps and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, back to the book itself. So elementals, which definitely fit into my practice. So I have, just talking about those here and just giving a little bit of description just for myself, and how to thank your elemental helpers, leave offerings for house spirits weekly, speak to them daily, just little notes. And just, more little things in these little spots. I just wrote little notes. Palo Santo clears out all energies that mean no good. Burn Palo Santo often, that sort of thing. And then a tarot reading. I don't have a lot of that in here, but, when it stands out for clarity. Okay, and this is just more of a blank page. Now, I can write in here, but I could just put like an extra page in between. I always think like that. So in place of a smoke cleanse, use this. And I have a little recipe here. And then I created a card and a little bit more description on this as well. So with stickers, because it's me. So there's that. And just more beautiful, enchanting. I wanted this to be a feast for the eyes, and to look at this and just feel witchy. Common spell ingredients, and I just wrote those things down here on these little cards that I made. Okay, and these are just, again, just pretty. We're just looking at the pretty right now. Because, and just a little suggestion about beeswax and a rose water recipe. I just love this so much. And I just have a pocket here for if I need, I left myself a lot of options. I just haven't put anything here yet. But I will, as it relates to gardening. This is, as you can see, very garden-like theme, right? Okay, and this is just another little pocket that can go here. All right, so then I have here, I love this imagery, by the way, kind of a little, Parisian farmhouse-ish. So now we're going into a section where we're getting kind of more into herbs and things like that. I got this from a magazine, and I just loved, it was so rich, and I loved the way it looked. So I cut this out. It was like a Better Home and Garden magazine or something, but just some information about mugwort here. And then just more, I love the imagery. So I put this here in my book, and about vanilla and star anise, just a little more information. And then thyme. I like, just kind of like herbal remedies and things like that. And aloe, which I didn't have my aloe plant yet when I did this, but these are sort of the things I use these things and I knew I would. But the aloe for protection and luck, aloe guards against evil influences, whether physical or influential energy, and protects your home. And it is prominent. My aloe plant is prominent in the center of my home. It's in my the hearth, if you will, near the hearth. So the kitchen. Okay. And then I took this out of a magazine, but I love the information. 10 summertime essential oil diffuser blends. And obviously you can just use the think of the magical properties, but fresh linens, that scent, late night. So these are just some wonderful ideas, and you can enchant them accordingly, citrus galore, flip-flop weather, sunshine blast, and then beach day, which is lavender, bergamot, rosemary, eucalyptus, which is right lovely. And there's just more imagery. And, this is just a spot for notes if I so choose to put it there. But here's a recipe for lucid dream, for tea, a divination tea as well. Okay, a calming tea, 4 thieves vinegar. And then I left this content. I had forgotten, I'm not going to lie. One of the times I was going through my book, I think when I was updating this, and I was like, why is this page here? Did I forget to cut? No, I didn't. I wanted the sun spell to eliminate your stress, because this makes sense for my world, and storm moon spell for renewal of energy. This makes sense for me using the outside as well. So that's why I kept that. Anyway, I knew hair growth oil, so I wrote that in here. Now, just looking at it, you're not thinking magical, but the properties themselves are ancient. Henna, Amla, Brahmi, Ayurvedic medicine. So, if you know, you know. Beauty jar spell for glamour magic. I have that here. And I love the jar cutout. This was from an Etsy purchase. And this was from a magazine. See how I'm like, I mixed a little bit of the media. Again, just more from a magazine. And this just talks about ferns and the properties, magical properties of a fern, which I do own, by the way. And just a little note here about plant properties and opening yourself up to plant magic. I actually printed this out because I didn't want to write it all out, and it was so nice and neat. It's very small. You might not be able to see it, but these are correspondences, magical correspondences for meat. Everything from beef to turkey and in between. So just to let you know, so like beef is aggression. It's the element is fire, right? Aggression, bliss, excitement, grounding, prosperity, protection, strength, that sort of thing. So for us kitchen witches out there, right? And then I have a celebratory citrus cookies recipe that I got, and I wanted to include it here. And you know, you got the citrus picture. So this is fun. And then this talks about using rosemary and spell work because I grow it, I have access to it, it's easily accessible. And then using basil in my craft and just the different ways I can use it. And this goes on a little bit more of, you know, common things, garlic, lettuce, onion, pomegranates, and magical properties and the deities, if any, associated with. And just a little quote here. And then even for seafood, it comes up. Let's just say that. Salmon, you know, is water related to reproduction. Lobster, fire, barbaric and chaotic behavior. And a lot of this I got from various sources. Fish typically, right, is about fertility. A lot of people see it that way. So, and crabs, if you're wondering, enlightenment, grounding, lust, protection. So there you go. So I left, this is still blank, obviously. So we still have some blank pages in here because I don't just fill, I fill when I need to. So this is for a Luxe spell bag. So there are, you know, as you can see, spells throughout and more informational things as well. I love this page. I love the cutout, again, the jars. And then more about caring for the spirit of your home and just details, signs there are fairies in your home. And I just highlight certain things. And then we have some additional blank pages. Beautiful, right? So I have plenty of room to grow. I've actually wrote in this a lot more since the last time I showed you. It doesn't really look like it, believe it or not, but that's just a few pages. All of these pages have pretty much been written in, and that makes me happy, by the way. So this is just, you know, I got this out of a book that just didn't feed my soul, so to speak, but it did have this information, and I took this out, so this is really awesome. I like the way this looks, and I just, when I see certain imagery and pictures and things like that, that evoke something, a positive, a feeling, a good feeling, like this does that for me looking at this house. My house is not this color, but it reminds me, and it's one story, but this reminds me of my home right now. So, and I start, please know, when I set up my seasons, I don't know what I was thinking. I did not go in any kind of order, so it starts with spring, but I do have like my Beltane information. I leave room for more, you know, and then summer, just a little bit about the moons and Letha, what to do, which is good if I ever kind of run dry on ideas. Winter, and just a little thankful Yule tarot spread, which is helpful. And again, room to grow. Autumn, and I have some things here, correspondences of ritual, and I got a little fancy with my stickers because hello, it's Samhain. And then this is a section I had got, again, a book that didn't really serve me, but I love the imagery. So love, you see that, right? So this is a space where I'll be putting anything to do with love spell, love work, self-love, enchantments, all of that sort of stuff. Yep, so that's where I'll be putting that. And then, and just, you know, just beautiful space, more space I can write in. And you can see here. And then I have a section for prosperity. And I have a money bowl, which I'm actively used. I created and then added that here. So that's little bit more in that section. Curse reversal. I honestly don't have too much in here because it just hasn't come up yet, but you see I left myself a lot of space, right? And then happy home, which I'm still building on. I have a happy home blessing oil recipe here. I did repeat some of the imagery because I just loved it, but room to grow to add more details. And look at this, healing. First, do you not love this? Anyway, healing, and just, you know, a nice page, and just, you know, room to write in. Oh my gosh, I love these pages every time I go through them. And then for protection work, which I haven't put too much in this one. Mind you, I have an entire grimoire with a lot of other things in it, but this is as it pertains to my cottage witchery. That's why it's taking more time to fill up, because it's different. That's the only way I can explain. It's just different. Cleansing. And also I have to remember to sit down, do the things, but then write them down. Hey, I have the same issue. And for cleansing rituals and things like that, I'm going to include in transformation. So this is great. When I think transformation, I think alchemy, right? So, you know, whether it's mental alchemy or whatever type of alchemy, you know, whatever it is, this is where I would put that information. Psychic power. This is great for, you know, any kind of anything I put in that arena. Then beauty, like beauty spells, any rituals or anything like that, enchantments of that nature would go here. And then I have dream realm. I just love this imagery. This is a great place to put anything that I find like I'm interested in about, like, what am I trying to say? Anything as it relates to dream work and things like that, whether it's to bring about dreams, possibly even astral projection and things like that, I would be putting in this section. And that's the end of the book. And then I just left this note page here because why not, right? It's just, it's pretty. So I left that here. And then that's the end, and that deep purple, which kind of goes back to the purple thing I mentioned before. But this is the book. This is the book. And she's still very much in use and very much being used. And I absolutely adore this book. It was a pleasure to create it, and I love it so much. I love being able to work in here and write things down, and it legit makes me super happy. And as you can see, because I am a Will of the Witch type of witch, I I live per se by the Will of the Year. Of course, I would have those different, they're out of order, but they are in my book because those are important to me to go by the Will of the Year. So that's why that's, you know, there for sure. And that's a big part of my cottage witchery. So that's why I wanted to make sure I included that. But yeah, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed my update of my book. And as I continue to update, I'll continue to share. Like I said, this is a joy for me. This is like the epitome of paper crafting, working in this book. I really enjoy working in here. It makes me so very happy. So it makes me even happier to share it as I continue to fill these pages and add even more tidbits in between. So yeah, thank you for watching. Again, I am Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. If anything, just like the video because that is super helpful. And also, consider hitting the join button and looking into the membership opportunities that I offer. If you have any questions or you're interested in my services, head on over to leaptaken.com as well. I do offer some services that are sort of ad hoc. You don't have to commit to anything. So just go take a look at that. I am filling up on my mentorship programs, but that's okay. I know more slots will be coming up soon. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. But as always, thanks again for watching. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.